Last time on Driven Mad Road Trips, we found a castle. And we found a wall. And today we'll find a big pool of water. So in this episode of Driven Mad Road Trips, we're on our way to Kielder Water. Let's have some tunes.
Riding around town in my Suzuki Jimny, windows rolled down, my feeling so free. Tiny but fierce like a bumblebee, turning heads as far as the eye can see. Stoplight showing on the engines a roar. The little car wonders what it's in for. Big trucks laugh but we just ignore. Speeding past them, now they're feeling sore. Jimmy, you're my little thrill. Climbing up the hills with a burst of will. Tiny adventure car, power and skill. Everyone's green with envy, oh what a thrill. Parking's a breeze in the tightest crest. Jimmy swoops in like it's on a quest.
Now I have seen this particular signpost in a Colin McRae Dirt video. Now if you look at the distances, then there's Kielder, which is 8, and then the next village that's nearest after that is Newcastleton at 23. So we're talking pretty big mileages. And 25 miles to Hexham, which is the nearest big supermarket. So there's no just popping out to Tesco's. Anyway, we are looking for a dam. Look, here's the Kielder Water and Forest Park. So yeah, we are in the right place. And this is where we see a nice reservoir. I know we're doing a few side missions today that are minimal, but it's part of the fun. So yeah, we're going to drive right across the dam. Right, so a nice little aerial shot for you. I'm going to talk about Kielder Reservoir. It was noted at the end of the 60s that Newcastle needed a bit more water because of all the industry, all the shipbuilding, etc. So they looked up the Tyne and thought, this is, quite empty, so we'll flood it and there'll be lots of water. So In the 70s, they started clearing all the people out. There was a number of people had to be displaced. They went to live in a nearby village, and they cleared the area for the reservoir. It required rerouting a road and demolishing a lot of houses. So the reservoir was finished very early 80s and was opened by Queen Lizzie herself, Queen Elizabeth II, in 1982, I believe. It is the biggest reservoir in the country for volume. It holds 200 billion litres of water, and it is also the biggest hydroelectric dam in England. Right, that's enough posing, let's hit the road. The road along Kielder Water continues and then goes over the Scottish border, which for some reason I stopped at. There wasn't a sign to say I was going into Scotland until I turned around the corner. So yeah, it's gone the most illogical place a documentary about Northumberland could do, not only going over the border, but going over the border into another country. So anyway, this is the road that meets the B6357 at Sawtree. It's a very empty area. There was a railway, and it did go all the way up to meet the railway from Carlisle to Edinburgh. But yeah, once we get to Sawtree, we're going to turn right. We're going to head north to meet the A68, and get back into England again. The reason we're taking this route is because there's a road that goes through the forest that is closed at this time of year, which isn't at all convenient. So anyway, if you're enjoying this series of videos, please like the video, subscribe to the channel. This is the first video, so obviously I'm trying to iron out some of the kinks, so to speak, and find my feet with doing this sort of video. In future videos I've decided I'm going to get out of the car more and maybe video something that isn't the bonnet of the chimney or the bonnet of whatever car I'm driving. But yeah, because I was doing this in a day, the downfall of it has been that I've been stuck in the car trying to get it done. I'm not doing that again. I'll do 2 days worth of filming if needs be. Anyway, back to Kielder Water, the destination. There's nothing really amazingly historic about it. I mean, in 1575 in the rough area there was the raid of Reed's Wire, which was one of the last England v Scotland battles that was not fought on the football pitch. But apart from that, the border crossing itself, it was in the 19th century they built a toll road. The toll road went from Kielder Water up into Scotland, and obviously another toll road went down into England. And now it's probably the most photographed England and Scotland border that we've got. And that's mainly because of these two massive stones that say, believe it or not, England on one side, Scotland on the other. I wonder if you can spot them. Ooh. Okay, so we're just back over the border into England. We're at Kielder Water. Well, I think we need to aim for the nicest route to take us to the Tweed Valley, basically. Now, the Northumberland 250 takes a route through Scotland. I'm not going to do that because, well, we're circumnavigating Northumberland. The problem with going from here to the Tweed Valley and going to places like Ford, Etal, Cornhill, all that sort of thing, there's a big army training camp here, and there's a lot of other stuff that's, well, sort of in the way, and the fact that there's like hardly any roads because there's hardly any people. So we're going to use Google Maps to link us to find the best place to go, or the best way to get to the route. Okay, let's carry on. As an update, yes, turns out over the Scottish border is the best way. So let's go back in that direction. At least it's a very interesting drive down the hill. Although to the left is also it's an even nicer drive down the hill. But yeah, that's probably another side quest. So many nice drives down the hill. If you notice, it's also very, 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 very much clearer now that we're a little bit further east. To be fair, if you look even further east, actually looks like it might be sunny. But yeah, Cheviot Hills aren't exactly the most accessible. Lots of nice hairpins on this route. And we're on this road for 3.9 miles, we turn right, and then we're driving on roads that I've never driven on before. So should be fun. We're only halfway through the journey and the camera's out of charge. Well, it's not out of charge, it's out of film. Which isn't ideal. Sorry, you'll have to pick up the rest of the trip next week, where we'll go to Ford, Etal, Berwick and come back by the Northumberland coast. See you then.